Alright, let me show you guys how to import your data from your existing database. So one of the things that causes problems with stats sometimes is that PestRoutes is only accurate based on the information that you put into it. So for example, let's say that you service a customer and they go into your regular software, but you never put them into PestRoutes. Well, PestRoutes isn't going to be able to show that data. And vice versa, let's say that a salesman enters something in wrong into PestRoutes, or for whatever reason, the numbers in PestRoutes don't line up with the numbers in your software. So we've created a way that you can sync your two softwares together. You can sync, like, for example, PestPack or RDF or Service Pro, any of those guys. You can actually sync it with PestRoutes so that PestRoutes will show the numbers that are in your existing database. So I think we have another video on linking customers, and let me just show you that real quick just to show you. But basically, whenever you put a customer into your existing software like PestPack, you need to put the unique customer ID into PestRoutes. And so if you click on Customers and then on Link Customers, this will show you all of the customers in PestRoutes and allow you to put their customer link in this box. So for example, if I say, this, as soon as I go to the next screen, or next box, it'll save that. So you just need to make sure you have a customer link in for all of your PestRoutes sales. And you'll see how that works here in a second. And there's another video on this if you need a refresh on that. But the next step is actually exporting your data from your existing software and then importing it into PestRoutes. So if you click this button that says Import Data, this will show you a report, or the report that we need to be able to import in. And so you need to export from your software something that looks like this. And it needs to be in a CSV format. And if you don't know what that is, basically if you open it up in Excel, it's just an Excel spreadsheet, and it needs to have all the information in the right order and the right columns. And then you can actually just save this as a CSV. So just make sure this says .csv and title it and save it, and you can actually just save it straight from Excel. So we need a report that has the columns in this order and looks like this. Now if you're with Moxie or EcoShield, we've set up special ones for you guys so that it works better with your databases. But for everybody else, this is the format that we need the information in. So all you do is you go ahead and select that file that you saved, that CSV, push Submit. This will import all of the data into the database. We're going to actually run some, it's really important that we get the information in correctly, so we're going to run some checks and balances before we actually sync the data. So this first thing is going to ask you to verify the fields. And all this is basically looking for is, once you've imported your data, it wants to make sure that it looks like the right data is in the right columns and that you have the right number of records imported, and just it's a general look to make sure that we got everything in the right format. So once you verify that, you push this looks correct. The next thing is it's going to ask you to link your salesman. So the salesman link here, this is your salesman's ID in your current software, and you need to make sure that in PestRoutes we know which salesman that is linked to. So what you do is you push this link here, and it's going to open up another tab with all of your sales reps, and you just need to copy whatever ones aren't linked into one of these salesman's accounts. So just go ahead and copy and paste that there. We'll take this guy, and that is actually this guy here. And just put it into that section that says DB link. So again, this is for your sales rep and PestRoutes. You need to put their ID from your existing software in this box here. Push save. Alright, then we can go ahead and refresh that screen, and it looks like everything's linked. Now it's important to note, if you don't link up your salesman, then PestRoutes isn't going to know which sales rep to give the sale to. So it's important you make sure these are all linked. And push continue. Alright, so this is going to show you anything that was in the list that you gave to PestRoutes, but that isn't in PestRoutes. And that can be for two different reasons. Number one, it could be that you didn't enter in text routes at all, in which case this is just going to add the customer from your software into text routes and just copy it right in. But the other situation, and the reason I show you this, is because if you didn't link up all of your customers, you got to make sure that you go ahead and do that. So for example, this second list, this is going to show you the things that are in my list but not yours. In other words, these things were serviced in text routes or marked as serviced in text routes but weren't in the list that you gave to me from your existing software. And theoretically, these two lists should intersect. So for example, this Abraham Lincoln that was in your list but not mine probably correlates to this one called Lincoln that's in text routes but doesn't have a customer link. And so you just want to make sure that these are all linked up properly. So you'll take the customer link and make sure that it is properly linked in here. And then push refresh. And that resolved the one that was in my list but not yours. And then there's two more that are in your list but not mine. So again, just note that the things in the top list, those are going to be added to text routes if they're not able to be linked. The one that's the list on the bottom, these will actually be marked as canceled if they're not resolved. So it's very important that you make sure that these are all resolved before you continue. Alright, this will show you duplicate customer links, so just in case you accidentally gave the text routes, two text routes customers the same customer link, it'll show you that there. And then it's also going to show you if there's any blank customer links in your list. So it looks like in the list that I provided there's 3 that were empty. And if we go back to our Excel spreadsheet, we'll see those. And that's just basically to help you make sure that the report you're getting from your software is correct. Okay. It's also going to show you conflicting dates. So for example, for these 3 customers, in PestRoutes they are marked as serviced on the 5th. In your software they are marked on the 6th. And then so on and so forth. So just note that we will change PestRoutes to reflect the date that you marked it in your existing software. So TextRoutes will change its service date if those don't line up. But it shows you this first just in case you want to double check it in your software or if you want to correct it or see that. Alright, so those are all the steps we go through. And when you're finished with that, just push complete and sync. Push, and it'll make you confirm it because these changes are permanent. Then just push OK. And this should take several minutes. If you've got a lot of customers, this will actually take several minutes, so don't navigate away. This one was a short list, so it goes really quick. But it's basically just going to show you everything that it did here. So, it created those 2 customers that were in your list but not mine. It updated all the information for all the other customers, created new subscriptions for people that were new. It also updated appointments for people. And notice in blue here that it says that it changed the dates on those ones that we pointed out earlier and created appointments for people that weren't existing. And that's pretty much it. So after that, you'll have all of your dates or all of your information synced up.